What's up, guys? I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we will be looking at exercise 42 of our Python exercise tutorial series. Without any further ado, let's get to it. Exercise 42. In a particular jurisdiction, taxi fares consist of a base fare of $4 plus $0.25 for every 140 meters traveled. Write a function that takes the distance traveled in kilometers as its only parameter and returns the total fare as its only result. Write a main program that demonstrates the function. Hint: taxi fares change over time. Use constants to represent the base fare and the variable portion of the fare so that the program can be updated easily when the rates increase. Okay guys, so looking at this exercise, it's super easy, right? And it's super interesting. To be honest with you, you don't really have to care about this hint. This hint, I mean, as much as it in inverted commas, makes life easy for us, they are kind of telling us something that we should already know. Essentially, what they're saying is that, base fee is kind of fixed $4. So set it as a constant. That's what they're saying. And by setting it as a constant, it makes life easy for us. So anytime we need to adjust the base fare amount, really all we need to do is just change it in one place. So that's sorted. Now let's get to it. First things first, what you'll notice, right, is all of the programs on functions that we encounter are going to be super similar, right? Really, it's just the text prompt that changes, and I wouldn't say your thought processes. Your processes remain relatively similar, right? You just need to understand what the question is asking for. Basically, it stems back down to the same concept, right? I mentioned this before. What's going to be inputted, what's going to be processed, and what's going to be outputted. So those three things. In this case, they want us to read in a value. I remember seeing it here. There's it here. Write a function that takes the distance traveled. So this is the only input they want. And as you know, input and output preferably should be given from the main function. So let's do a float input. Please enter the distance in, important one here is kilometers. So we need to be careful there. That's fine. That should be all there, right? That's our input prompt. Moving on. Output should also be given from the main program. For now, let's just do specifically, we are outputting the total fare, right? And processing will be done by another function of ours. We'll get to that, when the time arrives. For now, total fare, we just have a simple message: the total fare of your taxi ride is, let's provide formatting here, percentage dot 2f placeholder, and we leave the bracket there. So now, above the main program, specifically what's being processed, it's the distance. They told us as well, right? Write a function that takes the distance traveled in kilometers as its only parameter, and this function is the same one that's going to return the total fare. So to make life easy for us, let's just call this taxi fare. It's taking distance as the only parameter, and now we work with this. So within this base, I understand they said set it as a constant, but still I'm just setting my object in lowercase letters, right? Essentially, I'm creating a variable. So 4.00, because they told us $4, that's fine. Now what's important is a little bit of maths. So they said 0.25 for every 140 meters traveled, and remember, input is being taken in kilometers. So there's 1,000 meters in 1 kilometers. So really all we need to do is distance multiplied by 1000 mod 140. So the modulus would basically give us the remainder, and using that remainder we can basically compute. And by remainder, I really mean the number of extra meters, right? The number of extra meters that was traveled. And so, really, all we need to do next is set total to be equal to the base price, which is our $4, plus the extra price multiplied by, they told us, 0.25. So in this case, we want the extra to be computed first. Reason being, I told you extra is giving us the number of extra meters that was traveled, and therefore by taking those meters and multiplying it by 0.25, we'd get the total amount of money that was traveled, basically extra. Okay, and then we're just adding that to the base fee, which is $4. And they wanted the same function to return the total, which is what it's doing. And that concludes the processing function, right? The function that's doing the processing for our script. And remember, it's returning something to the main function. What exactly is it returning to the main function? It's returning the total. So let's provide formatting for that one placeholder. Essentially, what we need to do is we need to call our function, in this case taxi fare, and we are passing in distance as the argument. What distance are we passing in? We're passing in this distance here. So that's fine. Moving on, yeah, and by calling the taxi fare, the same distance is being propagated. This distance is being passed to this, and then it's basically processing from there, and total is being returned to this portion of the print function, and the print function will use that total value to fill it in the placeholder. So this concludes the Python program for exercise 42 of our Python exercise tutorial series. I mean, look at how simple this is. We did quite a bit of interesting logic in how many lines is that? 8 lines or so. Yeah, because there's a blank line there as well. So yeah, that's that. Before we conclude the video, let's proceed to run the script. So what we can do is, let's just say I traveled 14 kilometers, right? I'm entering an easy one so that we can work out the output mentally and manually before actually running the script. So basically what I'm saying is that if we travel 14 kilometers, that's going to be 14 multiplied by 1000. All right, that's 14,000 meters. And basically, if we take those 14,000 meters and mod it by 140 to get the remainder, we do get 0. So what I mean is that we did not travel any extra meters, all right? And now, so 14,000 mod 140 is 0. So extra fee is 0, which means that the base fee should actually be just $4. I'm not too sure if that's right, but we'll find out. We will find that out now. So let's go for it. Okay, I forgot to call main. So let's do this now. Please enter the distance in kilometers. I want 14. So 4 should be the answer. And excellent. That's kind of a very cheap taxi because we traveled 14,000 meters or 14 kilometers and it only charged $4. So that's good. What we can do, I'm noticing the output now. Let's place a $sign in front of our placeholder to make the output get formatted in dollars. So this time we can do any random ones. Remember, it's in kilometers. So maybe we want to do 23 or 21.4, or let's just do 13.5, to check how things are. And excellent. Now we see that indeed there was some sort of extra fee that was added. That should be all. To be honest, this program really doesn't make that much sense. Reason being, we traveled 14 and the price was $4, and then we traveled 13.5 and we got charged $19. But again, it's more focusing on the extra meters that you travel, not really the entire distance of the trip, just focusing in specifically on those extra meters. So that's good. Before we conclude, let's see. 13.5 multiplied by 1000 is 13,500. Now, if I take 13,500 and mod it by 140, we traveled 60. Okay, so yeah, that is kind of a lot, right? Essentially, what happens is that 60 times, yes, 60 times, we travel 60 times. That's kind of a lot. Let me just do the math here. So that's going to be 4 multiplied, no, 4 plus, yeah, base plus 60 multiplied by 0.25. Excellent, we do get 19. So now I was just kind of making sure that the program works fine. Indeed, so 60, we've basically ran that 140 meters extra 60 times, right, as indicated by this portion here, because they only charge that tariff, that 0.25, if you reach the clock of 140. So like if you travel 75, or maybe even if you travel 139 meters, you don't pay that extra 0.25 because you didn't travel 140. So that's why mod was used, right? Just so we are clear. So that's good, guys. This video is clocking 11 minutes and 50 seconds, so 12 minutes basically. So with that, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for staying till the end. Good luck with your work, and I'll see you in the next YouTube video.